And Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, double honors to the Apostle of Great Millstone, salutations to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. Alright, this video, I was watching this video, came across my feed, and I watch this dude a little bit every now and then. But he said something that I wanted to address, so I'm going to let a little of this video play, and then I'm going to go right to the scriptures.
Okay, Niccolo Machiavelli wrote a book called The Prince. And in The Prince, he was an advisor to the Borgia family, Cesare Borgia in particular, so that's what the book was based on. And in the book, he writes that a wise prince knows when to keep his word and when not to.
A wise prince knows what?
When to keep his word and when not to.
So, you heard it, he said a wise prince knows when to keep his word and when not to. I mean, my first thing, and it's not wrong to read books. However, when you read, you take everything with a grain of salt. So he said he read the book, what is it, by Machiavelli, and it's called The Prince. My first thing is this, Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate, for my mouth hath commanded, and his spirit hath gathered them. So that's the first thing, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Seek the men that know the book of the Lord, and they'll give you the sound advice that you need. Not the book from Machiavelli called The Prince, which he's an unfaithful man. Matter of fact, I got this as well. Proverbs 25:19, confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. So you don't trust an unfaithful man, for one. Machiavelli, he was an advisor to, he was an advisor to Caesar, the Borgias, which was the biggest crime family at that time. Which the Caesar Borgia was the son of the 6th Pope of Rome. So at that time they were the biggest crime family, and yes, his father was a pope. You can imagine all the wickedness that came out of that family. Not to mention Cesare Borgia is the image that they use to paint what people now ignorantly think is the image of JC. So, hey, they were a huge crime family. You don't trust the advisor to a huge wicked crime family. So, what is it? And this as well, Proverbs 14:15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his goings. Now, that's not to say that he's simple. However, it is to say that you didn't look well to your goings. You weren't prudent. You weren't prudent at all. Because if you were, you would have known, hey, go to a man that knows the Bible and they'll correct you. Go to a man of the Lord. And I'm not talking about no preacher or pastor in one of the black churches. I'm actually talking about go to a man from a camp. They, for the most part, they ain't gonna steer you wrong. For the most part, because not all the camps is the same. But about 80 to 90% of the camps, hey, they teach the same thing for the most part. But I would say go to a man from a GMS camp. That'll be your best bet. But anyway, hey, if you'd have known to talk to a man of the Lord would have corrected you on that. So let me read this. This is Numbers chapter 30, verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out his mouth. So basically, if you give your word, because he said in this book, it says a man knows when to keep his word and when not to. And it's like, if you give your word, you basically giving a vow. Matter of fact, let me prove that. This is Etymology Online. Word promise. A solemn pledge, a vow, a declaration. So that's a promise. And what is a vow? A solemn promise. So a vow is a promise is a vow, and a vow is giving your word. If you're giving your word, you're basically making a solemn pledge. That's basically what a promise is. A solemn pledge, a vow, a declaration in reference to the future made by one person to another, assuring the latter that the former will do or not do a specific act. So if you're giving your word, you telling a person basically, hey, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. So the Heavenly Father say, if a man vows a vow unto him, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, a promise, giving your word, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out his mouth. So that's what a man to do that gives his word. It's not know when to it's not give your word and know when to keep it. Just know when to give your word and when not to. You know, you don't make promises recklessly. You don't make vows recklessly. That's why I say no man of the Lord should be voting. Because why? The word vote means to vow. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. All right, pull this up real quick. And it says, you know, a vow, Latin votum, vow, promise, see, vote. So let's see what vote is. Let's go to vote real quick so you can see it all. Vote, a formal expression, one wish or choice regarding a proposal. From the Latin votum, a vow, a wish, a promise to God, a solemn pledge, a dedication. So should you be voting? No, because you're making a vow. So everybody that voted for Biden, guess what? They made a vow, and they had to see it through. And that's why everybody that voted is going through hell while he's in office. And every other president that you voted for. So you don't supposed to vote. You don't supposed to vow. And if you make a vow, a promise, or give your word, you're supposed to pay it up. Ecclesiastes 5:5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than thou shouldest vow and not pay. So it's better to not vow than to vow and not pay. It's not, matter of fact, let me read one up and read the rest of it. This is Ecclesiastes 5:4. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. It was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the work of thine hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also diverse vanities. But fear thou God. So that's basically it right there, man. Don't give your word. Don't give your word unless you plan on keeping it, and definitely don't vow a vow unto the Heavenly Father that you don't pay right away. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Yes, you're causing yourself to sin by giving your word and not keeping it. So, with the type of advice that he's giving, it is definitely off. It's wrong. He's going all the way off. And don't listen to don't believe in no books that's written by Machiavelli supporting a wicked ass crime family anyway. You know. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. You know, that was the point I wanted to make. Hey, you give your word, you keep your word. And that's just that. Otherwise, don't give your word. Because you're basically making a promise or a vow. So don't give your word unless you plan on keeping it. Otherwise, hey, if it's just normal conversation, hey, let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. But don't give your word or a vow and not plan on keeping it, or is iffy about it. No, when you give your word, you complete it. You do it. And that's it with that. Hope you all were edified. Till the next time, all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahushai Bashim, Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you all doing the work in truth and sincerity. Till next time, Shalom.